Hello and welcome to another Starcraft 2 beta commentary. My name is Witty and this is a 1v1 on the map Incineration Zone. It's between Evilfrog as the red Protoss and ThaLegion as blue Terran. Now this is a replay that Evilfrog has sent me. He wanted me to commentate on this and so I shall. Now let's have a look, shall we? We can see that the Terran is gone for an early refinery so he can get himself a reactor and start pumping out Marines, I assume. Whilst Evilfrog is getting himself a couple of cellars to start with and a cybernetics core afterwards. He's got himself 2 assimilators already, but you do need to use those assimilators, otherwise there's not that much point getting them. Unless you're afraid that the enemy is always going to come in and take your assimilators, which they may well do. Thespian geysers, it's a well-known strategy that Protoss do against other races, is to nick their Thespian geysers, just slowing them down a bit. For only 75 minerals, it's usually quite worth it. I do like the way you've put these pylons down there. I used to actually do a whole long line back when I used to play a lot of Protoss. Have like pylons going in a long line and then buildings going in a long line, so you'd only have like one long line that the enemy have to get through. But it didn't work too well in the long run. It did throw people off for quite a while, but yeah, I needed to evolve basically, so that's quite good. You don't really want too much more of a maze than that. We can see a robotics facility going down for Evilfrog. He's doing quite well at the moment, but the Legion is doing better because he's got himself an expansion. So if he can get to hold that expansion, this should be quite good for him whilst he's pumping out the Marines. So that's not too bad. Mass minerals, pump out the Marines. Should be able to get himself a sizable army. I do like the 2 bunkers here. That's very, very good things that Terran can do for their expansion. It's pretty worth doing. I mean, not enough Terrans build bunkers. They're pretty, dare I say, I'm not going to say it because I'm going to get criticised, but they're borderline overpowered, I think, bunkers. They're very, very good for their cost, considering you can get your 100% money back from them once you finish with them. They're absolutely awesome because they completely protect your units, and they last quite a long time as well, so it makes it really worrying to try and attack them. What's this though? Evilfrog is destroying the destructible rocks. He's already gone through those ones. If we look at these sellers, they look quite funny when you look at them super speed. They're like bloodthirsty mercenaries or something. Look at them. Grunting away. But they're just standing there now. They've used up all their energy destroying the destructible rocks that they're not going to do anything now. But that's not a bad idea by Evilfrog to try and sneak in through here, because that's why he's just sending his observer in, just to see if the coast is clear. And it is, so in come the zealots. Whilst the Legion is completely unsuspecting of this. What the Legion should have done is left a supply depot down here, so that way he can keep a check on anything trying to destroy those destructible rocks and get inside of his base. But he didn't. So now he's going to have to pull all those Marines out. He's not using all of them though. He's still got some left in his bunker, and these Marines are not going to cut it. In fact, they're the ones that are going to get cut. Yeah! So, yeah, the sellers did quite well versus that. I mean, a lot of them have got very low HP, but as long as they don't get attacked again within a short while, the shields will regenerate quite fast, as we can see here. So, yeah, he's going to be holding on to that expansion, but he's not going to be doing too much about the main that he has. Or is he? Will these 3 Marines save the day? Come on! Go, go! Yes! No, no, wait, maybe, no. Okay, no they didn't. There's 4 more! Keep on bringing out the Marines, maybe he can do it. Now the Marines are going to come out very slowly now, 25 seconds per one, because the reactor got destroyed. Evilfrog took out the reactor, which is a good idea. The factory has gone down. He's just about managed to beat off the zealots that were in his base, but he's been hurt very badly. And how well has Evilfrog been doing? 2,000 minerals! Yes, I think you been doing rather well indeed, haven't you, Evilfrog? Now, practice makes perfect, that's for sure. Because I know for a fact from myself, when you get into micro battles or whatnot, and you're concentrating on units too much, it's so easy to let your macros slip. But that's something you need to work on, for sure. You need to put a lot more on gas, which you're just starting to do now, so that way you can start building some decent units rather than just mass zealots. And yeah, make the most of all your minerals. You certainly need to build a lot more pylons, a lot more gateways, that way you can... Heck, I mean, if you got yourself a warp gate, you could just build a pylon nearby and constantly warp in zealots. That would do the trick. So let's have a look at the Legion. He's got himself a planetary fortress and a bunker here. That's going to deal with pretty much any ground quite comfortably. Get himself Hellions. Hellions aren't too bad. They're not the best units versus zealots, but in a way they sort of are, because obviously they do bonus damage versus light, and Zealots are light units. But I don't really see Hellions get used very often against Zealots. Not effectively anyway. So a couple of Immortals here, standing their ground. Whilst yeah, got other units here standing their ground. You're going to be expanding again. I'm not sure why, because you've got 2,500 minerals. You need to use them up first before you expand. Pylons, etc. So yeah, use this replay. Watch it. Learn from it. Trust me, because that's not good. Oh, the Hellions did pretty well there, but he did outnumber the Evilfrog's forces. So now this is actually not looking too good for Evilfrog, because he's not using those resources. These Hellions are taking like forever to kill those buildings though. It's quite funny. But they get there in the end. So are these two Immortals going to do anything? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Yeah, they did a little bit. Not enough though. The Legion is doing okay. He's got too much Thespian gas now. If he can't make use of that Thespian gas, since he's got no buildings to use it, unless he's planning on going heavy Thespian gas later and knows he's going to survive for the long game, I would suggest that he takes any units that he's got on Thespian gas off and bring them onto minerals. But it's not a big deal really. So yeah, I think the Legion needs to push forward and keep the threat on. Now in come the Colossus. Can this turn the tide of battle? I think it can. Look at that. Slicing through those units. Absolutely. Now if you get the one upgrade, let me think. I think it increases their damage to 22. I'm not sure. 22. Even then you wouldn't be able to one-shot Marines. You'd need 2 upgrades on the Colossus at least to one-shot Marines. But that's easily doable, because you can get the Forge fairly early on in the game, and the Forge is brilliant. To be honest, as a Protoss player, I do suggest that you get the Forge and you do make the most of it and constantly upgrade your damage rather than armor or anything like that as a Protoss player whenever you can, because Protoss do use a lot of ground units and it's very, very good. So yes, thank you very much for watching. This has been Woody. Please subscribe, rate and comment. Bye bye.